Is Braille's non-abrasive grip tape any good? So in the trunk I have a board set up with Braille's non-abrasive grip tape on it. Today we're going to figure out, is it any good and how does it like stand up to all the other non-abrasive grip tapes that I tried before. So
the next day.
Is Braille's non-abrasive grip tape any good? Well, it's not perfect, but it's not trash either. So the first thing that I noticed is that the non-abrasive grip tape is not as grippy as like the sandpaper or regular abrasive grip tape, so that makes tricks a little scarier. Like the feet bowl that I did earlier, I have like this, but I was afraid of my feet sliding off a little bit, but just not like dangerously slick or anything. It's just something you have to get used to, but once you do, you don't really notice that part as much. So another thing about it being slick, you kind of have to switch your feet around. Like the heel flip that I did, I have to hang less of my toes off of the board, which I don't really do that anyway, so it's just like more on the board than it already was, which it really wasn't a big deal to me because I figured it out pretty quickly and then it just felt normal. So before we get into all the positives of this, the biggest problem that I have found with this is that it doesn't really handle the elements very well. So I skate a quarter pipe right next to a big patch of dirt and it likes to go in there a lot, right? So the kind of slick-ish grip tape turns into even more slick, which is really easy to clean. Just take a damp rag and wipe it off real quick, but then you have to wait for it to dry. And it's not 110 degrees outside all the time, so that will take a little bit. And if you ride your board around the city a lot, I would imagine it'd get pretty quickly that way as well, but I haven't really tried that out, so I can't really say anything on that. So my favorite thing about this is not that it prevents you from getting holes in your shoes, which I'll tell you why in a second, but I like to do like finger flips and like grab tricks, so it's not tearing up your hands, you're not getting grip thumb or any of that. And also it doesn't tear up your laces, so you never have to worry about breaking a lace ever again. So the reason why I don't care about not having holes in my shoes and all that shit is because just because you don't have holes in your shoes, that doesn't mean your shoes aren't wore out. So just walking around, skating, running, jogging, and all that jazz that you do in your shoes, it's wearing out the sole little bit by little bit by little bit. So I used to actually rock the non-abrasive grip tape all the time. It wasn't the Braille one, it was just like the regular DKL, and I didn't have any holes in my shoes, but I didn't realize that the soles were worn out, and I was skating this 5-stair drop and then I landed without my board and bruised my heel. So I was like, huh. So just because there isn't holes in my shoes, that doesn't mean my shoes still don't get wore out. And on top of that, your shoes are gonna get looser over time, especially with skateboarding, because when you do ollies, you're putting pressure on the sides of your shoes, so you're stretching them out sideways as well. So should you get some non-abrasive grip tape? Well, here's my opinion. It depends on what type of skating you're into, also what level of skating you're at. So if you're into freestyle skating, then hell yeah, not tearing up your hands and all that sounds awesome. Like it'd work good for that, at least in my experience. I'm not the best freestyle skater in the world, but I've done a few freestyle tricks. Or if you just started skating and you're trying to like learn how to ollie or kick flip or do this trick switch, well then absolutely, that'd be great, because then you don't have to worry about putting a hole in your shoe and spending hundreds of dollars. But if you're like a vert skater or want to jump down 10 million stairs, well then I personally wouldn't get it, because I'd rather have the security of the regular abrasive grip tape. Like it's not that much of a difference to like the how much it sticks to your foot, but I would want as much as possible because I don't want my foot to accidentally slide off and get injured from a possible thing that did not need to happen. But other than that, if you're just like a casual skater, skating some ledges, flat ground and stuff like that, well then it's up to you. Like I said earlier about the whole sole wearing out thing, I would keep that in mind because it does make Primo hurt a lot more. But at the end of the day, it all comes down to personal preference. Like there's somebody at that skate park over there, I don't know if he's like here today or not, but he rips and he skates that. So he's actually better than I am. So it's not like non-abrasive grip tape is just gonna like completely mess up your skating. You're never gonna be able to land any tricks because of the non-abrasive grip tape. Now, this is just my opinion, and if you would like to check it out for yourself, there will be a link to some non-abrasive grip tape